Hello people of the internet, my name is Pedro, welcome back to Flick Screen Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about Venom, There Be Carnage.
Finish him!
So the first thing I noticed while watching this movie was how surprised I was by the similarities it had with the first movie. Not just in terms of tone, but also of story structure. You see, I thought that because they were changing directors, Andy Serkis takes over here, they clearly wanted to take the character to a different direction, but I guess I was wrong. This movie is so similar to the first one in its over-the-top and silly goofiness that it's actually amazing. These two movies are directed by two different people. Once again, this movie is all about Tom Hardy's Venom. He is very funny throughout the film. There's particularly a few scenes, I'm not gonna spoil, that involve karaoke and a gay bar that are completely hilarious. But Venom continues not to be a true villain. I would say he's not even an anti-hero. And that is because, deep down, this version of Eddie Brock, as played by Tom Hardy, is a good guy. Even though Venom is not a great villain, I was hoping that Carnage, the villain of this movie that's in the title, would count up to it. But I must say I was a bit disappointed with the villains of this movie. Woody Harrelson's Cletus Kasady and Carnage is a very over-the-top and mustard-swirling villain with some cliché and weak motivations. Alongside him, we have Naomie Harris, which gives off a very creepy performance as Shriek. And I really had a problem with this character because it was just a plot device. She didn't do anything at all. And actually there were some great opportunities because of her powers, which are sound-based. And as we know from the first movie, sound is what hurts the symbiotes. But because she was paired with Carnage, she couldn't use it because she would harm Carnage as well. So I thought it was an odd choice to sideline the female villain of this movie. And yeah, she was part of Cletus Kasady's motivation, but I didn't buy it at all, and I thought it was very forced and weak. Now that these negative points are out of the way, I would like to talk about who I thought were some standouts in the movie. First off, Michelle Williams is once again a great choice to play Anne and has a great on-screen presence. She is very funny and seems to light up the screen whenever she appears. Reed Scott, who returns as Dan, is also surprisingly funny this time around and has actually something to do in the story, which I liked. But I would be lying if I didn't mention Peggy Lou as Mrs. Chen, who has the best scene in the entire film, a hilarious scene. It was one of the few scenes where I actually laughed out loud during the movie. It's that great. She was amazing in that scene. Overall, this film, again, is okay, I would say. It feels very much like a 2000s, early 2000s B-list action movie. Not just in terms of its tone, but actually its structure and the way it is built and framed and everything. It's very weird. It's very similar, like I said, to the tone of the first movie, which also felt like it would have been better off if it had been released 15 years ago. And that leads me to a criticism I have to do to this movie, which is with the quantity of superhero content that we are getting right now, I don't think this movie has really much space to carve and to stand on its own. I think that it'll be I would say, very forgettable movie in, let's say, 5 to 10 years from now. I also have one big problem with this movie, but before we jump into it, I would like to warn you, this part of the video will contain spoilers for the movie. So if you haven't seen Venom, There Be Carnage, I would urge you not to see this, of course. And yeah, skip ahead and yeah, I'll see you on the next video. But for those who have seen the movie, I'd like to talk about the problem I had with the post-credit scenes. Now, don't get me wrong, the post-credit scene was amazing, okay? As you know, because you've seen it, the post-credit scene teases Spiderman and brings Tom Hardy's Venom into the MCU. He travels to the new universe, we believe, which is the MCU, because we see J.K. Simmons, J. Jonah Jameson narrating like he did on the end of the second Spider-Man movie. However, this scene basically means that the story, the 2 hours we just sat through with the movie, are completely irrelevant. Tell me, why does this film need to exist if in the end Venom just goes to a different universe? Heck, why do the 2 previous films need to exist? I thought it was really a strange decision to have such a post-credit scene that makes the 2 previous movies completely obsolete. I thought it was very strange. And I had a big problem with it because, well, I've just invested 2 hours of my life into watching a movie to get to the end and see that really didn't matter, and I would be probably better off just having watched the post-credit scene. Yeah, that's what I would say was the biggest concern and problem I had with the movie. And that brings us to the end of this video. If you liked it, don't forget to drop a like and consider subscribing to help the channel grow and to stay up to date with what we produce. If you like what you saw, you can always check out some more videos right here. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.